Word on the street is that Larsa Pippen has sworn off athletes. But what led her to make such a drastic decision? In today's video, we'll be talking about Larsa Pippen's split from Scottie Pippen. We'll also briefly discuss her history with athletes and other NBA news. Firstly, Larsa Pippen's and Scottie Pippen. What went down? The popular Real Housewives of Miami star recently opened up about her relationship during an interview. Larsa recently finalized her divorce with her ex-husband and former Chicago Bulls star Scottie Pippen. The duo had gotten married back in 1997 and were together until 2018. The couple split after Larsa filed for divorce, and 3 years after it was filed, the two have finally officially divorced. The former spouses had 4 kids together: Scottie Jr., 21, Preston, 19, Justin, 16, and Sophia, 13. Next, Larsa Pippen's history with athletes. Scottie isn't the only athlete that Larsa has romantically been involved with. Larsa was linked to the Minnesota Timberwolves player Malik Beasley back in November 2020. At the time, Malik was already married to Montana Yao. 6 months into their relationship, Larsa and Beasley called it quits. During her interview, Larsa added that she regrets her relationship with Beasley. The latter had called their relationship childish in a public apology to Yao. Larsa explained that while she doesn't want to reveal too much of her private past relationships, she stated that you can grow and learn from your mistakes. She went on to add that she's in a better place now than she was back then. Earlier, in December 2021, in an episode of Real Housewives of Miami, Larsa confessed that occasionally Scottie would give his 2 cents on her new relationships, and Beasley did not pass his vibe check. She revealed during the show that when Beasley was arrested and sent to jail for 90 days, Scottie told her to, "Go ahead, keep talking to these losers." The former Denver Nuggets player was arrested back in September 2020 during an incident when he pointed a gun at a family outside his home in Minnesota. Beasley pleaded guilty to the felony charges and later had to serve only 78 days in prison. Given Larsa's history with athletes, it's not really surprising that the 47-year-old has decided to stay away from athletes. During her interview, Larsa stated that, "I'm trying to avoid athletes." She went on to explain that she's not purposely looking to be involved with athletes. She likened her situation to doctors and nurses, stating that nurses can't help but have at least a few friends that are doctors, given that they're always surrounded by them. Similarly, Larsa had been in the basketball world for so long that she just feels like that's what she's surrounded by. She clarified that she's not looking into dating again currently. However, when she does, she's definitely going to try to avoid athletes. If we're being honest, given Larsa's bad history with athletes, we really don't blame her for wanting to steer clear of sports players. Next, All-Star 2022 festivities. Larsa and her dating life aren't the only news making it to the NBA headlines. Fans and athletes alike are buzzing with excitement for the upcoming All-Star 2022 festivities to begin. The NBA All-Star 2022 weekend in Cleveland is about to begin this weekend, and fans can't stop talking about it. From the Clorox Rising Stars game on Friday to the State Farm All-Star Saturday night, and of course the much-awaited 71st NBA All-Star game on Sunday, it's going to be an exciting weekend, to say the least. With the exciting weekend only a few days away, here are some questions that fans are curious to know the answers to. Will Team LeBron remain undefeated? LeBron has been highly praised for his 4 NBA championships, 10 finals appearances, and his high standing in the league's all-time scoring and assist list. However, little attention is paid to his track record during All-Star game weekends. If you ask us, we can say without a doubt that LeBron's All-Star record is worth the attention. Ever since he's become the captain, due to the NBA's new All-Star format, the basketball player has gone in with a 4-0. It seems that Team LeBron is well positioned to stay undefeated, with players like Stephen Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic in its roster. Of course, All-Star drafting pales in comparison to actual NBA drafting, with trades and free agency limited by salary caps. Regardless, James has gotten a good balance in terms of speed, shooters, defenders, veterans, and rising stars. Given the current lineup and LeBron's past record, fans are curious to see if LeBron will manage to maintain his streak this year as well. Who will claim the title of the All-Star MVP? This time around, there are quite a few candidates that could earn the title of the All-Star MVP. LeBron could join Kobe Bryant and Bob Pettit as the only players in the history of the NBA to collect 4 All-Star MVPs. Alternatively, Giannis Antetokounmpo could join Russell Westbrook as the second NBA player to consecutively win the MVP title in consecutive seasons. We could also see Chris Paul winning his second All-Star MVP 9 years after his first one. Or it could be none of these, and a rising star takes us by surprise by claiming the All-Star title. The possibilities are endless. If you ask us, our bets are on LeBron. If you've seen the player's resume, you know that he definitely has the potential to claim the All-Star MVP title. But then again, we could also be taken by surprise. Only time will tell who really ends up taking home the title of All-Star MVP. How will Cleveland celebrate NBA 75? We're also curious to see how Cleveland will celebrate NBA 75 at halftime during Sunday's game. From what we know, the ceremony will include award-winning singer and part-time Cavalier owner Usher, director and New York Knicks fan Spike Lee, and comedians Tiffany Haddish and Anthony Anderson. It's safe to assume that the NBA 75th anniversary team will also attend the ceremony. However, it's uncertain who amongst the past and current NBA players are on the list. Will the dunk contest finally bounce back? If you've seen last year's dunk contest, you'll know that it seemed gloomy and a bit uninteresting. The pandemic situation did little to help. The arena was empty, given the social distancing policies, save for the 3 players that competed in the competition. Even prior to the pandemic, the slam dunk contest has struggled to attract attention in recent years. In the past, we had talents like Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins in the 80s, Vince Carter in the early 2000s, Blake Griffin, Zach LaVine, and Aaron Gordon more recently. We're curious to see if Jalen Green, Obi Toppin, Cole Anthony, and Juan Toscano-Anderson offer something to spice up the dunk contest during this year's All-Star Weekend. There's no doubt that all candidates are promising. Despite being a rookie, Green has a solid record so far with his flair and athleticism. Toppin's dunks in last year's contest were also quite impressive and entailed 2 between-the-legs dunks as well as a windmill after jumping over his father and his teammate. Toscano-Anderson has also displayed a lot of confidence and talent. We're curious to see the outcome this year. Can this year's NBA three-point contest outshine last year's? Last year's three-point contest was definitely hard to top. During the contest, Stephen Curry reminded everyone how he earned his title for the NBA's best shooter of all time. Even though this year's Mountain Dew three-point contest doesn't have a frontrunner and fan favorite, the lineup still looks intriguing, with Zach LaVine, Luke Kennard, Patty Mills, Karl Anthony Towns, Fred VanVleet, Trae Young, CJ McCollum, and Desmond Bane. What will be the outcome of the new Rising Stars bracket? This year, the NBA made a new addition to the Clorox Rising Stars. There are 4 teams with 12 rookies, 12 sophomores, and 4 G League Ignite players that will compete in a 3-game mini-tournament. The first 2 games will be played until a team reaches 50 points. This is being done in honor of the NBA's 75th anniversary. The winner of the 3rd game will be the first team that reaches 25 points. The last 2 NBA games have become more competitive compared to the previous ones due to the Elam ending. This is a scoring method where there is no running game clock in the 4th quarter. Instead, the All-Star games take the winning team's score after 3 quarters and add an additional 24 points to set a target score that's needed to win the game. This new scoring format has added a more competitive atmosphere to the All-Star games that have been missing in the previous years. We're curious to see how this will impact this year's All-Star games. From Larsa Pippen and Scottie Pippen's divorce being finalized to the upcoming All-Star Weekend, February has been filled with quite a lot of interesting news. Once the All-Star Weekend kicks off, we're expecting to hear even more exciting news. What are you looking forward to the most during the All-Star Weekend? Which player are you placing your bets on for the title of the All-Star MVP? Was there anything we failed to mention in this video? We're curious to know your thoughts, so drop us a comment below.